Hey guys, how's it going? It's a bit loud, isn't it? Sorry. Da dum 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 dum. Now streaming what? Did I not write the title down properly? That's silly. Alright, well, it seems to be working now. Hi everyone, how's it going? I'm streaming more Star Wars Bounty Hunter today. We're gonna see if we can actually beat the Senate today, because last time we got stuck on the Senate and I died, ran out of lives and had to reset, which was somewhat of a bummer. However, I'm very excited to play more. Bum bum. Bum bum. Bum ba na 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 na. Da da. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. A lot of Star Wars fan art this month. That's pretty awesome. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen it in the slideshow already, but Nitrous made a fucking kick-ass picture of me as a Sith Lord hunting Bothans. Made me very happy. I really love it when I'm drawn in the clothes of the characters from whatever game I'm playing. It's really neat. Da-na-na. Alright, I think we're ready to get started. Let's do our post and beep. Doot. Doot. And now for the Discord, the big ping. Big ping, hell yes. Alright, let's play us some Star Wars Bounty Hunter. So yeah, last we left off, the Senate had beaten me. I had been defeated by the Senate, and now I'm back. Today I'm going to lick my wounds and see how we do, because last time it was rough. We need to locate Senator Trell's apartment. Need to make sure your game audio is working real quick. Sorry. Doot. Game audio is working. That's picking weapons again. I gotta relearn all my buttons every time I play this, and then that's the jetpack. That is my lock-on camera. That's my aiming, and that's my roll. Got it. So yeah, last time we got stuck here because there was a shocking amount of verticality. There was a shocking amount of exploration to be done in the game. Because I was like just trying to find my way around this area and I was getting horribly lost, but that's okay. So I'm gonna try and run around and see what else we can find and properly explore. Hello there. Hello there. Alright, nothing to do there. Maybe we'll switch over to blasters. I don't think anyone here is gonna be wanted or have bounties on their heads. But then again, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think the local government really cares about what bounty hunters are doing. I don't think they pay much mind to whatever bounties are being put up, so there's no reason why a bunch of these Senate people can't have bounties on their heads. I'm sure if you're like a Senate guard and someone wants you out of the way, they'll put a bounty on your head so that one day you can just get capped in a dark alley after your shift, so you can't show up tomorrow to protect the person that they want to politically assassinate. That is a... Whoa, shit, I'm falling. I thought that went further. Continue, yes. That's our first death already, that's fun. So try to avoid that next time. Alright, so my plan there was that I was going to slide as far as possible so I wouldn't have to jump that far of a distance and glide, but it looks like I'm just going to have to roll with what I got here. So, do I even take fall damage? I don't recall. Anyway, last time we were here, I basically wandered around for like an hour just being lost, trying to find my way around this place, but it looks like I'm doing a bit better this time. Alright, we're good. Let's go ahead and crouch and explore. See what we can find. Try to catch these guys unaware so I don't get shot when I don't need to. Yo, freeze! Alright, it's a civvy. Let's see if there's anything off about her. No bounty. Alright, no worries. Forgot there were just civilians running around this area. Anyway. I'm just basically rounding corners and hitting my lock-on button just to make sure if there are any enemies, I can just blast them real quick and get them out of the way. Bye, guy. Anyway, he's down. I like the evil red lighting in this council chamber. A lot of Star Wars architecture and just shit looks evil, even when they don't intend it to. Sorry. Especially a lot of the Clone Wars era Republic stuff is just because it would, like, certain ships and stuff would go on to develop into, like, Star Destroyers and such, like the Venator class cruisers. Because of that, they look evil. And the reason why they look evil is because they based them off of the Star Destroyers, ships that were made primarily to resemble aircraft carriers and to look fucking evil. All the Empire ships and architecture really do have that, like, brutalist dystopian look that I'm a really big fan of. It's no wonder why my favorite faction in 40k is the Imperium. Alright, dude. Oh, nope. Here's another hallway we can go down. I would love to see speedruns for this game. I bet you can get it with some shenanigans with this jetpack. But get that bounty hunter? Okay. Well, I'm climbing. I'm climbing the stairs, so I'm not worried about you. Oh shit. Did you just melee me? Interesting. Regardless. Yep. So I, what was I gonna say? Shit. Oh yeah, I finished Mandalorian Season 3. I'm probably gonna talk a bit about it here. There really isn't much to say about it because it feels less like Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2. Seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian were like episodic and they felt like a TV show. Mandalorian Season 3 feels like a long movie. Which honestly I was okay with, and I also like how small of a part Din Djarin actually played in the story of the, like, he wasn't the driving force. He was there to shoot who he was told to shoot or who he needed to shoot at, and explore the areas that he felt he needed to explore, but, like, ultimately the person driving the plot in Season 3 was Bo-Katan, and I'm actually kind of happy to see that because, well, it was just her little story arc that was started in the Clone Wars and then continued in Rebels in this. It was nice to see that finally wrap up. Nice to see her redemption arc, you know? She's a character I've been, like, what's the word? Confused about for a while, because her story had an ending before, but it seems as though Mandalorian undid her ending. And if I hadn't watched, I probably would have been pretty upset about it if I was a Rebels fan at the time. But I actually was kind of scared away from Rebels by a bunch of people who didn't know what they were talking about, shitting on it. Rebels is one of those shows that gets a bad rap because it existed because of its actual, like, subject matter or the quality of the show, but because of the context of how it existed. It was basically our replacement for the Clone Wars, and it is nothing like the Clone Wars at all. And its goals are not to continue the story of the Clone Wars, even though it does. Its primarily goal is to tell its own story, which I think it tells wonderfully. That's kind of the funny thing about every new Star Wars series. Every new Star Wars series has two purposes, right? It's to tell its own good story, And it has two purposes: to tell its own good story and to continue the stories that were already told and unfinished by previous series. And how well it does this, pretty much, in my opinion, decides on how good of a Star Wars show it is. For example, Andor continues no stories, but it tells a really good story in and of itself. Obi-Wan Kenobi does neither for me. It's personally, I don't find the show enjoyable on its own merits. I mean, I don't find it miserable. It's alright. It's okay, aggressively okay. I'd rank it probably alongside Revenge of the Sith in terms of quality. Which, to be fair, a lot of people who were wanting that show wanted that, and I'm sure they were very happy. For me, in terms of Star Wars on-screen television, the peak is probably the Maul arc, the Maul and Asajj arcs from Clone Wars, and everything else is just kind of living up. Everything since then has been just trying to reach that level of quality, in my opinion. Andor's good shit, though. Mandalorian Season 1 and Mandalorian Season 2, really good shit. Book of Boba Fett actually causes the story to regress slightly, and I found it to be very disappointing. However, it's not the worst. It's watchable, and I think it's worth watching. It's just, in and of itself, if you're short on time, I know what cuts are being made. If you were to ask me, hey Alex, I want to get caught up on Star Wars, but I don't have that much time. Can you give me the greatest hits? Obi-Wan, Book of Boba Fett, Solo. Yeah, Obi-Wan, Book of Boba Fett, and Solo would not be on that list. Rogue One, I don't think is a great story on its own, but it continues the story of Andor and the story of Saw Gerrera from Clone Wars, so it's worth watching for that very reason. Solo, hey, your girl's here. Good to see you, Egg. How's it going? Or not an egg. I gotta think of something to call you. Oh shit, no. Aw, I died. How you doing, not an egg? Rolling. I'm gonna start, I gotta start quick saving. Close to Screams Mando and I'm here. Hell yeah. Oh, you follow my Tumblr, that's awesome. I was thinking about actually making a, which I've, watch me drop all, and I need to complete. I've actually was thinking about making a poll to ask where people, like, found me from. Because that's one of the things I'm curious about. I was like, hey, where are you from? Are you from Tumblr? Are you from the Twitter, Reddit? That kind of thing. But yeah, it's awesome. I'm really happy that you're from the Tumblr. It makes me feel like keeping it up, you know? I've been trying to upload more clips and stuff there, because you can actually schedule clips on Tumblr, which is nice. But yeah, I was just talking about, like, if someone were to ask me, what do I absolutely need to watch in terms of Star Wars, what would I recommend them? And I was talking about what I would cut out completely. And for me, the cuts are Book of Boba Fett, or not, but you can't cut Book of Boba Fett. The cuts are Solo, Obi-Wan, and Book of Boba. Those are the three, actually. I feel like Solo and Obi-Wan are a no-brainer. Like, those are easily cuttable. And everything else, I think I'd mostly keep everything else in. Yeah, because you can't really cut Book of Boba Fett. It continues into Mandalorian Season 3. As much as I have problems with Book of Boba Fett, you can't cut it. There's too much going on there of value. It also, there are some, though it's almost every way it continues the main Star Wars storyline, it disappoints me. Like, how they handled Cad Bane, I thought was really disappointing. But besides that, you know, it's perfectly fine. And honestly, Star Wars has been perfectly willing to retcon disappointing deaths in the past, so I think Cad Bane survived that. I hope it gets continued. I hope they decide to tighten up some of the fight choreography and some of the storytelling. But yeah, I'm excited if there's a continuation. If you told me Book of Boba Fett Season 2 is coming out, I would watch that, absolutely. It'd be such a waste if Cad Bane died there. But, bum 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 bum. Let's grab this collectible real quick. Zoop! Alright, let's try to go from the beginning. What would I actually cut? I can't cut Phantom Menace. Can't cut those episodes of Tales of the Jedi. You can probably cut Clone Wars Volume 1. No, you can't. It's too high quality. Yeah, that's the problem. The sequels are the easiest cut in the world. You can just clip those right off because they don't continue anything and they don't tell a great story on their own, so you're perfectly able to... Yes, my problem with the fight scenes isn't that they weren't cool enough, it's that they weren't believable. I really like a lot of the action scenes in The Bad Batch and Mandalorian, personally, because they treat blasters like they're guns, and they don't just stand out in the open and get shot at like bad Star Wars fight choreography. Like, Mandalorian, and if you like watch Mandalorian Season 3, those people are head to toe in blaster-proof armor, and they're like ducking for cover, they're actually getting out of the way. Book of Boba Fett, there's extended scenes of characters just standing in the middle of an open street shooting at each other. And that, like, drives me nuts. And it's like, man, they just need to treat blasters like they're normal guns. I wish I knew how to quick save on this. I don't know how many lives I have left. Shit. Well, time for a leap of faith. Well, that was sick. Ah, Jango's so cool. I also noticed, and this is going to be kind of heartbreaking and might be game ruining, they fucked up his blaster sound. He has a very specific sound to his blaster pistols that's been pointed out to me, and I can't not hear it now. But that's like some Star Wars nerd shit. But I is a Star Wars nerd, so... Yeah, whenever they take a hit, it looks like it hurts. Like, Mandalorian did wonders for the... Mandalorian and Bad Batch did wonders for, like, Star Wars fight choreography. Oh boy, MPTF Bot 130 just added me to their friends list. Who is that? Is that someone I bought a Steam key from? I don't... That is... scary as shit. Yeah, like, I love that sound. Alright, looks like I'm flying over there to those ledges. Gotcha. Alright, we'll just slide over here. This is such unconventional platforming, by the way. Alright, now here's the room that's just basically a 20-minute shootout. Oh wait, no, not this room. I gotta get up onto this platform here. Like, I love that sound. That's the other thing Mandalorian did. Me and the girlfriend were talking about that. Like, the Mandalorian has done wonders for blaster sound effects. And it's something we noticed in Andor, too, is that every type of blaster now has a unique sound. And it isn't just that sound over and over again anymore. Which was a problem with, like, old Star Wars games, is that every blaster sounded the same for a while. Especially the Lego Star Wars games where you're just blasting non-stop. And those... Like, every blaster fucking sounded the same. We'll go ahead and grab this damage. Quad damage here. Hey, Witty! Oh, wait, you're stuck on the start screen. Oh, shit, I just realized that. That's a funny bug. That needs to go away right now. I know why it did that. That won't happen again. I suspended the emulator, which caused it to... Yeah, it really does. Hi, Wolf. It's also good for, like, shooter design, you know? Like, if you want to make a multiplayer shooter, every weapon needs to have a unique sound. Alright, he's done, and we'll go ahead and glide over here, grab this health pack. I think this area just infinitely spawns enemies. So what we're going to do here is we're going to fly up and... It's crazy that we live in an era, though, where your average Star Wars fan knows exactly what a Mandalorian is. Not like a completely not a complete misunderstanding of it, like they know exactly what it is, they know the history, they know the culture. And I'm sad that it took a live-action show to get that, you know? I'm sad that people couldn't just suck it up and watch the really good animated shit, but I am happy that more people know about it now. I'm really happy that they... You know what's really a positive thought about the next generation? Is that our children are going to be people that understand that animation is not a genre, but a style of art. like it's a type of artwork. Like, that's really nice. Or it's a medium, not a genre. There we go. That's how Guillermo del Toro put it. You can tell any kind of story you want in animation. And it has nothing to do with age range or subject matter. Like, even my mom is finally starting to get used to that. Like, she started watching The Bad Batch, and I'm like, hell yeah. Because she's like, oh, what's The Bad Batch? Dennis saw that on Disney Plus, and I'm like, oh, that's the A-Team, but as clone. That's about, like, the A-Team, but in Star Wars. And she's like, that sounds really good. And I'm like, right? Yes, it is. Well, it's funny, because, like, if you know the lore, Mandalorians are, like, so important to Jedi and Sith history. They're the reason why the Sith exists in their modern form. Oh, that's a grenade launcher. I forgot about that. I need to get up and get out of here because this shit is fucked. Shit, I am hurting. Get up. Get up, Jango. Get up, Jango. Ah, fuck me. God damn it. Me too, and I'm still on TCW. The Clone Wars. Yeah, she hasn't watched Clone Wars though. That's the thing. She never watched Clone Wars, and that's what the girlfriend asked her when she said she watched it. And I'm like, no, she hasn't seen the Clone Wars. She doesn't. Every single time I recommend her a show, she, like, when she finds out it's animated, she just doesn't care. Like, she was watching The Boys and Doom Patrol, and I'm like, oh, you should check out Invincible if you like that kind of thing. And she's like, oh, and I was telling her about it, and she seemed super interested. And she looked at a picture of it, and she goes, oh, it's anime. And I go, no, it's like Justice League style, you know? It's in the style of that old Justice League cartoon. And she's like, yeah. She just doesn't have an interest in animated stuff. And it's like, it's been difficult to get her to watch, like, good things that are animated. Yeah, well, the reason why the Sith, like, the Order of the Sith began in the first place was because of the Mandalorian Wars. Basically, ancient Mandalore, they had their own army and everything, and they weren't just bounty hunters, so they would just conquer worlds like Spartans, you know? And so they just started going through Republic space, conquering and pillaging every world, and nobody was able to stop them. The Republic military was far too weak. The Jedi were like peacekeepers who were meant to handle small, like, disputes and stuff. They were more there for negotiation and as a tradition than they were as an actual useful fighting force. And this was way before the Clone Wars, before that became normal, you know? And so, with the Mandalorian Civil Wars, there was one Jedi named Revan who's like, hey, we should do something about this. And the Jedi were like, nah, man, we can't do nothing about it. We gotta wait and see what happens. Caution, patience, you know? And Revan just said, fuck this. And he got together a House Vizsla 2 aggro. Hell yeah, big times. But, like, that's why, so yeah, Revan got a bunch of Jedi together, and he's like, alright, we're gonna go fight the Mandalorians. We can fight them. We're strong enough. And, you know, we have the Force on our side. We have a chance of beating them, where the Republic doesn't. And, oh shit, I did it again. Oh shit, fuck. No. God, this section's tough. Please don't reset me. Thank you. God. But, yeah, so Revan got the Jedi together. He went off, he took all the Jedi into Mandalorian space, and they started conquering. They started fighting back the Mandalorians. And soon, they pushed the Mandalorians back to the Malachor system. And at the Malachor system, Revan uncovered a bunch of ancient artifacts of the Sith race, and realized, or not, sorry, not the Sith race, but the Rakatan, which were an ancient empire that basically created the galaxy as we know it today. Think of them like the Protheans from Mass Effect. They were also known as the Builders. And Revan found this, and he basically found their artifacts, and he realized he could use them to make crazy weapons of mass destruction to use on the Mandalorians. And at that point, they trapped the Mandalorians in a system known as the Malachor system, and they basically glassed every world that the Mandalorians were on in that system. The sheer scale of death and destruction basically corrupted the Jedi and turned them overnight. If not, and if they didn't turn Sith, they were cut off from the Force completely and weren't able to do anything with that because the sheer loss of life was enough to just cut them off from the Force. Bit iffy about it, yeah. And so Revan came back to the Republic, and they were like, oh, hey, we've figured out a new way to use the Force. Where we have this new order, we're just gonna show up and start conquering worlds because we can make more Jedi like us. So every time the Jedi went and engaged them in battle, they would just slaughter planets, and it would create more Sith. Until eventually they found the planet of Korriban and opened the Sith Academy. So yeah, pretty much the Mandalorians are the reason why the modern Sith exist. Which is why they're so fucking important. Their ideology's always been like an interesting precursor to the Sith ideology. And the Sith learned a lot from them. Or, I guess you could say the Dark Jedi, because the Sith race... Yeah, for story time, very bueno, you should incorporate more of this on the streams. I wish I knew more, honestly. Like, Hey, Sasha, good to see you, man. I was really happy with what they did with the Vizsla character in Mandalorian Season 3. But, yeah, I wish I knew more Star Wars lore like that. I think it's fascinating, some of this stuff. We're gonna find out more about that when we play Knights of the Old Republic, though, which is what we're playing on the weekends. Hello! Hey, Sasha, how you been? Where am I heading? Alright, we're gonna jump here and go up here. Alright, we're over here now. Alright, we made it to the top floor. This is where I got stuck last time because I couldn't figure out what to do. Alright, let's try to move my camera a bit and see. There's like a balcony here. Where does this lead? I gotta think. Alright, up? No, there's like a bridge. Aw, I'm sorry, Sasha. Damn. Well, the good thing about friends is they'll occur naturally if you just talk to people and meet new people. But I know exactly how you feel. When all the guys left, when all the guys left the Discord, I felt the same way, and yeah, I know how you feel. It's really shitty. I'm sorry that you've had falling outs with people, or that they stopped talking to you. But, you know, the server's now full of very, very nice people. Everyone's been really wonderful to me. And so I'm sure probably just hop in VC sometimes and you can just chit chat with people, make some friends. Yeah, that's fair. I feel like it had been happening slowly for me, and just what went down between us was the last final push. Not sure what to do here. I should probably slow down and stop and load up a walkthrough. Yeah, I can't tell if this is too far up or what. I'll check the floor below me. I think you can't really control if people come or go. Best thing you can do is just look back on the relationship, parts of it where you can, look back with fondness, take what you can from that relationship, and then move on. That's awesome, man. That's always good to have one of those. That's what my girlfriend's kind of become for me. I know it's weird to say that your girlfriend's your friend, but like, no, actually it's not weird. It's one of the least understood things about relationships. And if more people understood that, I'm sure they'd have happier relationships. Oh shit! No, 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 no. God damn it. Please, please don't. Okay, I got one continue left. I can't fuck this up. Which means I need to make a quick save. System save state. There we go. No, 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 no. Wait. Making sure that you guys can see this okay. To death. Ha ha ha. I feel ya. Game's still busted. Let me go ahead and reset the game capture. There we go. Gotta do that sometimes. No, 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 no. That's one of our sound alerts now, Sasha. You can use points to say that if you want. But yeah, no, that's how it is for me. Like she's the only person who really, I guess, tried to understand me and my weird mental eccentricities. And you know, I try to understand her and her weird mental eccentricities, and it really goes a long way when both people are willing to change for each other. And I think ultimately that's what it is. It's like, how willing are you to change for someone, and is that person willing to change for you? If you're finding yourself having to change over and over for someone who sits there in stone, that's not healthy, and neither is it the other way around. Hey, Door Bomber's playing Gary's mod, ratting him out every time he wants to play it. All right, so, Okay, so it wants me to actually go down this way. That is funky. That is so jank. Yeah, it's one of those things that will pass. People want friends, you know? You'll find people. Hey, there we go. That's better. Everything I do feels like sequence breaking. Like, this game is super jank, and I like it a lot. Fly up. Good. We're good. Hell yeah. Do. Jump. It's a very nice cream color for the building. Cream. Yeah. For my situation with the guys, those were people that I've been friends with for the last decade, so it was very tough to lose them, but I don't know. It made me change a lot, made me be a better person, made me think a lot more. Went a long way. Hey, feather. Yeah. That dude, same, for real. I don't know, like, I've learned that about myself. I don't know how to make friends in person. I need to go to Warhammer more often. Like, I need to actually go to game stores and meet with people with similar interests. I want to meet people at work, but everyone I work with is either, well, they're all like they're all old people, you know? They're usually old people that are very mean. And it's like, I don't want to deal with that kind of person. People who will just, yeah. Like, overhearing, you ever just overhear conversations with people and you're like, man, you are just not a good human being. That's how I feel about a lot of the people I work with. Is like, I overhear but Jenga. Yeah, same. Airsoft wouldn't be a bad way to meet people either. Damn it. I don't like how the binding's different for switching to full screen and stuff. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry. Let me just switch the game capture back on. Oh. All right. Do your thing, please, game. Unpause. Thank you. And then we'll click, turn that back on. Good to go. Old enough to drink. A local bookstore or a bar wouldn't be bad. I need to... Yeah, a bar would not be a bad... Like a coffee bar. I wish we had... Yeah, cafes. Honestly, none of the cafes I can go to are open early enough. So, for me, it's like... Not an option for me. But... Yeah, I need to start going to the game store more often, playing Warhammer, maybe do some D&D more often. The store I played D&D at doesn't do D&D anymore. All the DMs got frustrated and left, and like I want to start. Like I'd love to do some stuff that's not D&D, like Star Wars 5th edition, Warhammer, Cyberpunk, Fallout, any of those. Those would be fun. I miss D&D. Especially in-person D&D. And in-person D&D is really nice. I don't mind online campaigns, I just kind of prefer in-person. Yeah, Tumblr's alright. Tumblr's not bad for it. If I engaged more with people, I'd probably make friends there. I should engage more with people, it's just I tend to engage based off of what's rewarding. Oh, Sasha, get an app called Meetup. There you can probably find, like, board game places, or people just doing any old activity. You're in Florida, so depending on where you are there, you're going to find meetups of a different variety, but I mean... anyway, yeah, look into getting the Meetup app. You can find some interesting things there. I went to a really nice beer and board game night with that. And if you have free time, then absolutely. Yeah. The Discord's not bad. There's new people coming and going all the time, so you're likely going to find people you like here. VR chat, as much as it may sound cringe, great way to meet new people. But if you're looking for real life friends, yeah, check out Meetup. I'm probably going to look into it myself now that I've mentioned it. Coordinates to be kidnapped. Not necessarily, but you know, like that's how I found several of my D&D groups. The biggest thing you can do is expand your interests and find interests that are social. Join a karate class. That's what I did as a kid. Come on. And then... Good job, Booba Feet. Getting a hang of the fucking platforming in this is pretty funny. Look at that 2D background, though. Screen froze. Shit, why does that keep happening? Oh, because I quick saved. Right, of course. Well, now that I'm out of it, I might as well quick save anyway. Save, state, boop. And then... Blink Blonk. Yeah, for some reason, PCSX is being really stupid. I should be fine now? Oh, shit, no, there's no camera movement. I didn't... Ah, son of a bitch. Alright. Son of the bitch. Is it still frozen? Yeah, every time I alt-tab, it causes shenanigans. We're good. Yeah, I think what's happening is that every time I alt-tab, it causes it to freeze. All good. Hell yes. But yeah, tabletop RPG, great way to meet people. I might need to just set aside the free time and actually DM. I don't have the fucking spare time to DM for everybody. I need to find actual, like, tabletop groups. But no one at my local place is hosting D&D anymore. And I love that store, but, like, I don't want to fucking play Conquest, and I don't want to play Magic the Gathering. I have zero interest in Magic the Gathering. Especially with how expensive it is.
Please don't kill me! Anything you want, name your price!
Komari Bosa, where is she?
Yeah.
Bosa?
I'm just not interested. I'm not into card games.
Bosa!
I'm just... I don't know.
You were saying?
Just not really a fan of card games. I tried. I tried Hearthstone, I tried Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and MTG for a while, but... yeah.
He knows. He's on Malistar. Ah, let me go!
Release the senator, or we will open fire.
Do what he says, bounty hunter.
Release him now.
As you wish.
No, wait!
It is expensive, yeah.
Blast him.
Boss fight. Alright, gotta get up the stairs. Come on. I love the auto aim on this, it's so aggressive. Let's get the fuck out. Grenade launcher. I already have one of these. Switch over to here. And, okay, here it is. As you wish. My man said it. I was just thinking about this yesterday, like, I feel like because of Mandalorian, just in general, like, we're gonna start seeing more, like, custom Mandalorian OC cosplays. At least I hope so, you know? Oh, hello there. Hello there. Oh, it's rapid fire? I didn't know that. Mana create. Send me some shit, dude. Like, send some shit my way. And if you got your own stuff going on, like fan art and such, send it my way. Yeah, I want to see Mandalorian OCs. That's super fucking cool. Oh yeah, a bit of a thing about the Darksaber. The Darksaber originally was a symbol of unity between the Jedi and the Mandalorians. Basically, the one who wielded it was the first Mandalorian Jedi, and it was this, like, magical moment of like, hey, we're not fighting anymore, we're buddies. Our cultures are finally united. That's cool. I need to actually learn more about that character. Shit, come on. Because they sound interesting. Grab that. I'm looking for more guns, I guess. The character... Are those Rebel Fleet helmets? I kind of think so, yeah. I think a lot of the Rebel gear is old Republic gear that's been improved. Let me scroll up real quick and check your things. Several decks, kick-ass. The character who wielded the Darksaber. The original, the Jedi Mandalorian who had the Darksaber. Just want to make sure that this is working properly. I'm just... Yeah, okay, we're good. Oh, cool, grenade launcher. Perfect. Oh! Oh! I'm gonna need this to take care of the helicopter here. That was a waste. We'll try that again later. What's cool is that where Jango is pointing his guns will tell me where enemies are, which is very helpful. Oh, I have the high ground now. A280 and Republic hands. Really? Huh. Okay. Not really familiar with what that is. I don't know what that is. But the big thing is that it's meant to remind you of the Rebel Alliance because they're the good guys. There's a lot of design reuse. Alright, I can't shoot there. Like, it's just not letting me. Ow. I forgot to hit my jetpack. It's pretty embarrassing. Grab this here. And we'll go ahead and lock on. Oh, shit. No, 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 no. Oh. Okay, then. I'm gonna have to load a save. Yep, down I go. Time to load a save. Oh, for real? Okay. I didn't know that. Not really familiar with, I'll be honest, I'm not really familiar with Star Wars guns. I usually just go like, that's the gun from blank. I can actually I never been too good at recognizing specific weapons and armor from Star Wars. Let me go ahead and load a save there, because that's a health loss I don't need. Load state, and it's frozen again, isn't it? Sure is. I love this emulator. It's great. Too bad Dolphin didn't work. Ah. Yeah, because I don't really know any of the gun titles in Star Wars. House Vizsla? I don't think it was. It might have been. I can look into it. I just know that it specifically belonged to a Mandalorian Jedi. As for the name of the character or who they were as a person, I have no idea. Alright, I think if I go upstairs, there's gonna be a grenade launcher ready for me already, so... Oh, they blew out the windows there. I should be good. Damn it. Aim up. Oh, might be. I'll have to look into it. Hold on, let me get to a spot where I can breathe for a second. I'll take a look. Why is it set up like that? I gotta blow this gun off. This is so janky. Grab the heal, grab that, and that's done. I love that jump. It's so nice. I love it when a good like video game action game jump will double as a dodge. Stolen as being before it became the oh, absolutely. All right, let's just take it back to the beginning. All right, so Pre-Vizsla had it and continued to have it until the fight with Maul. He lost the fight with Maul. Maul took it. Okay. Maul was then defeated by Palpatine, which means that Palpatine is the rightful owner of the Darksaber until he was defeated by Vader, who threw him down that well. And it doesn't matter if he died. What matters is he was defeated. So regardless of what kind of canon you want to go with, to me he died there and the sequels aren't canon. But yeah. And the roll. Yeah, the roll's super nice. It's just a good dodge roll will go a long way to help me like a game. Bum 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 bum. Da 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 da. I did like no damage. How do I kill this thing? Alright, yeah, the blaster's not doing anything. No, lock onto him. There we go. Oh, yeah, I don't really know about it before Pre-Vizsla, so I need to actually look into the history of it. But it's funny how, I think the irony is that a connecting theme you'll see throughout Star Wars is that the natural state of the galaxy is unity. The natural state of things is for people to love and live together. That's the basic, like, thesis statement of the entire Star Wars universe. And basically, the Sith and the Jedi, or the Sith and the Empire corrupt that by trying to enforce an ideology that puts the individual first and puts power first. So, and that's the reason why the Jedi fall, is they don't acknowledge the power of love, which is what Luke brings forth, recontextualizing and actually achieving real peace and unity in the galaxy. And so the irony of the Darksaber being a symbol of unity between two factions that hate each other at the time, and it being used as this symbol of unity and love being used as a symbol of power and being perverted, like, it really does, like, that the Darksaber itself contains the entire, like, thesis of Star Wars, and how the idea that love is the natural state of things, love and unity and cooperation and peace is the natural state of being, and people will inevitably rise up to fight against that. People will rise up to corrupt that and twist it. In this case being the Mandalorians. And what I like about the Mandalorians is the problem with the Sith and the Jedi, from a storytelling perspective, it's not really a problem. Yeah, it's two polars of the same bar.
Senator. Oh, you'll have a price on your own head soon.
I doubt he'll be missed. The guy was as dirty as they come. So what do you know about this Sebulto?
Sebulto's a dug kid.
I'll talk more about it here in a second.
Figure in Malastyr's underworld. If he's working with a Bando Gora, he's kept a low profile.
I like her hat.
You have a senator in your pocket. So now what? Knock on his door and ask him to give up Fosa?
Once he hears his partners are dead, he'll be wary of uninvited guests. I'll use a more subtle approach.
Well, I shouldn't mention this, but if you want an invitation, I did come across a
Sassy Roz.
self-posted. Bendix Fuss.
Thanks for the hydrate, Sasha.
Currently serving time on Uvo 4, the asteroid prison. Reward is 50,000.
Came looking for booty.
Bolter a gift, not a bad idea.
I came looking for bounties.
50 some. But Django, we are talking about a maximum security prison. Nobody in his right mind would try to break someone out of there.
It's just another job, Ross.
Breaking in so we can break out.
Sign of Montross?
I checked around. Heard he's in the Gazari system.
A lucky break. That's nowhere near Malistaire. Gruff Hog must have lied to him.
He was probably more afraid of the Bandogora than he was of Montross. Django, dear, you work too hard. Give up this crazy hunt. You got money. Why don't you meet a nice girl and settle down, have a kid? You won't live forever, you know. Not in this business.
Not in this lifetime, Ross.
I like the idea that his goal, like I don't know if this is true, but I feel like the goal, like Django's whole goal was just to settle down and start a family, and the fucking Jedi ruined that for him. Specifically Mace Windu.
A problem. Our contacts on Coruscant are dead.
A temporary inconvenience.
You're fucking terrifying.
Smugglers and corrupt politicians are easily replaced.
Our spies believe bounty hunters were responsible.
It is of little concern. The location of this moon remains unknown to all but one of our underworld contacts. Nevertheless, we cannot allow any further disruptions. If these bounty hunters surface again, we will deal with them.
You're like a small-time Sith Lord, aren't you? I like how we're dealing with like a creepy cult, though. That's pretty neat.
Supply craft 1729, you are cleared to land. Opening shield now.
Oh god, it's inside of an asteroid?
Copy control.
That's sick.
Final approach.
Oh, he's gonna hide.
My scopes just picked up a ghost image in our sensor wake.
Probably another glitch like that false biosignature we saw in the cargo hold earlier. Still there?
He told to shut up in the comics. Nice.
Probably just a glitch.
I don't know which comic that is. I need to familiarize myself with Star Wars comics because I only have I have 3 that I plan on reading right now. I actually have a lot more, but there are 3 that stick out in my head. The Darth Vader comics, the Knights of the Old Republic comics, and what was the third one? Shit. Oh, Dark Forces Rising. The one about Palpatine's clone that takes place after the movies. Name for the asteroid in which it was built, Uvo 4, is the Republic Correctional Authority's most feared maximum security prison, housing the galaxy's worst criminals. Its inmates are allowed no entertainment apart from the occasional pod race. Their time is spent in lockdown or in the labor mines. A massive energy shield provides the prison with a pressurized, breathable atmosphere, as well as protection from asteroid bombardment. Okay, for real though, I don't know if this is real. Like, I don't know if this one's going to be worse. The most horrifying prison in Star Wars is the one from Andor. Like,
Sorry, Django. I'm getting a lot of interference.
that like made me genuinely uncomfortable.
My hearing already.
Well, you've still got your looks.
Oh, you are a smooth one. Where are you?
I'm on the surface now. I'm gonna try and slip in through a cargo supply port.
I hope you're not planning on using your jetpack inside the prison.
I'll be careful. If it all goes to plan, I won't need it.
Yo, I get that missile? Hold on. Oh, I can actually, it's actually sticking out and everything. Okay, let's see it. Yeah! Yeah. Cool. I cannot wait to try that out later. But yeah, what I was gonna say is, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, there's actually shit to, I can actually explore the ship. Oh, ship. Oh, ship. Missiles. Nice. That's cool. But, yeah, so, what was I saying about? I was saying some shit about the Jedi, about the Darksaber. Oh, Mandalorians. The reason why Mandalorians are so fascinating is depending on the era that they're in, they can either be a hero or a villain. Jedi are always portrayed as heroic, except for Knights of the Old Republic 2, I think. I have not run into an occasion where they've been portrayed as villainous. And the Sith are almost always portrayed as villainous or tragic, you know? There's no positive stories of Sith winning. It's always a negative story. It's always about a downfall or a corruption, you know? And and you know, like it's not a stagnant thing. It's just it's a fact of like the thesis statement of the universe. Star Wars has a very, much like something like Lord of the Rings in a lot of fantasy settings, it has a very strong idea of what is good and what is evil. Thank you for the water, Ellie. Good to see you. And the cool thing about Mandalorians and about a lot of bounty hunter characters and about a lot of non-Force aligned storytelling in Star Wars is they ride the line. Andor is one of the coolest Star Wars stories because of how morally ambiguous it seems. Water is important, indeed. And what do we got over here? Let's take a look. No bounty. No bounty. All right. Oh shit, they've seen me. I've been spotted. Are these Hondo's race? Oh my god, I'm dying. Oh shit, that was brutal. All right, well, I want that health. Oh, they got vibroblades. All right, fuck. I need to get the fuck out of these turrets. Asshole. Come here. Give me this. There we go. Star Wars Jango Fett. Open Season 3. Alright, are those comics good? I have to give them a read if so. I'm actually really excited to read the Old Republic comics, or the Knights of the Old Republic comics, because those came out before the games and they did some things differently that I want to see. Alright, now that I've gunned them down like the dogs they are. Woo! Hey, look at that. I just squeezed in barely. Well, that was action-packed. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Do I hate dogs? No. Because yes, everything is Django. Django is yes, my dude. Fair enough. Fair enough. Do I hate dogs? No, 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 no. I'm all right with dogs. The main reason I hate Bothans is that in Star Wars Dark Forces, in the Thrawn trilogy, the most despicable character in that entire storyline is a Bothan politician. And I think it's just really funny to be racist against a fictional race. Real racism is rarely funny. But, hey guys, how's it going? Oh, I mean, no, sorry, real racism is never funny, but like, fictional racism can be funny, and fictional racism against a fictional race that doesn't actually exist is hilarious. So, in my opinion. Actually having to sweat a bit here, this is nice. Just love the quiet wind after I gun down all these people. But yeah, the fact that they run the prison in Andor like a factory, and like some of the shit that they say in that, like basically the way that they're running the entire factory is that every team has to compete against each other, while every member of every team has to compete against each other in terms of how fast they can build parts for a starship. And every floor who has a floor boss has to compete against other floors in the prison. And it's like, I've been in workplaces that have that mentality, and it is some of the most toxic places I've ever worked. And the fact that that's being put in this dystopian setting is really, really interesting and fucked. Like, I love it when dystopian literature shines a light on what's actually going, or dystopian fiction shines a light on what's actually going in our own world. Because, like, that part was horrific for me, because I've been in that environment. I've had to deal with someone yelling at me to perform better or I'm going to lose my job. And it is like, it's an existential nightmare. And it's just interesting seeing how like things we have in our own world are in the same environment, and they're not even twisted that much. Hey, Blue Wolf. Hi. Have a good sleep. Thanks for the water, Witty. I'll drink it here in a second. Jesus, a lot of lasers are flying. All right, grab heals. But yeah, the factory, the prison sequence in Andor, the prison episodes, like, made me genuinely uncomfortable in a very good way. And that's probably the reason why I recommend them. It's just good dystopian fiction. Even if you know nothing about Star Wars, it's a great watch. And it still is a Star Wars show in the end. It nails the heart of what it's about. It's just, I'm happy to actually have a reason to hate the Empire. Because like before, it was just woo the Empire. They're the guys who run the Death Star and blow up worlds, and they're the guys in white armor who shoot at you. And it's like, all right, well, I've never had my world exploded or endangered like that, so I don't know what that's like. And I've never been shot at before, or forcibly arrested and dragged from my home. So like, that's not an experience I can relate to. But being told to work harder in a factory, or else I will have food taken away from me, and food taken out of my girlfriend's and my mouth, like, that is nightmarish, and that is a genuine fear I have. I have actually been fired, and I know what it's like to, like, go hungry in order to try and basically keep your home. So, yeah, it's, I guess what I'm saying is, in very few words, without being preachy, Star Wars made me realize that suffering under the twisted, fucked up version of capitalism we have in the real world in America is somewhat similar to suffering under the Empire. It made me genuinely compare the two in my brain. Emergency fund is so important. Yes, and I would love to be privileged enough to have an emergency fund one day. I had one once. I spent it because I lost my job and my house burnt down. At least $1,000. Oh, $1,000 ain't gonna get you far. I had one of about 2,100 put away, and that was enough to get me to where I am now and kind of get my life back in order. Thank Christ. And that still required me to beg. Jesus. Come on, get up. All right, fuck this floor. There's nothing on this floor for me. Oh no, they say the system is bad. I don't know. I've lived it now. There's a very big difference between Alex of 2016, who decided to get political, and Alex of now, who knows what it's like to suffer in our current system. It's like, oof. Spend that money on an education. Yeah, good luck, buddy. There's a reason why I'm not in college. If I had a confidence in a skill in college that I knew could get me paid, I would do it. But when it comes to pursuing my passions or things I actually want to learn, that's the internet is my resource for that, I guess. When I was a kid, I was rebellious because my parents were mean to me, and so were my teachers. And as an adult, I'm rebellious because I've actually suffered. That's pretty cool. That's something. Military work or government work could get you paid good. Yeah, like, I guess the whole point of that is Andor's a really good show, and it did a really good job of making me not making me realize the real world is the Empire, but it made me hate the Empire. It made me actually root for Rebel characters, and I haven't done that since the original I mean, Star Wars Rebels did a pretty good job, but Most certainly not military. Oh, you mean just like a commercial pilot? That's cool. Yeah, just... Man, I found out yesterday that my insurance does not cover my therapy. So I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. So no more therapy, no more mental health care, which is wonderful. I'm really hoping it's a clerical error on their end. I don't know for certain, to be fair, but like, if it is that, that's gonna suck. Fleet rebels look cool, and I like insurrection. I like insurgencies and insurrections. Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. The imagery is rad. I just, for a while, when it comes to surface level coolness, I feel like the Empire has them beat. Like, you look at the Empire and you're like, man, they're cool, right? But like, I don't know. It's been a while since I've had Rebel characters to root for in live action Star Wars. Like, Rogue One was okay. I was so irritated with the Resistance and how that military was run in the sequels that for a while they kind of had a splashing effect that made the Rebel Alliance lame to me. And Rebels didn't help with that, where they portray the Rebel Alliance as being cold and uncaring towards the plight of ordinary people. And like, just the way Andor handled it was so good. There we go. Yeah, right? And that's what's cool about Andor, is they act like actual rebels, which is the coolest part. And one of my favorite things about Andor is the reinforcement of like that thesis statement I was saying earlier, the idea that the natural state of things is unity and peace and happiness and love and joy, and how people will rise up to fuck with that. The idea, like, the Empire is something that has to constantly be working on. They constantly have to spend resources. They constantly have to waste resources to keep people in order because people want freedom naturally. And so the idea of that, which I love, is that a Rebel Alliance is inevitable, which is super fucking sick. Yeah. Yeah, the idea is that, and it's something they explore through Rebels, and it's the idea that the Rebel Alliance is an alliance because it's a bunch of small cells of insurrectionists that are what you described, all working together. And that was something really cool, is that you get to see the difference between those rebel cells and Rebels and in Andor. You can see the difference between like how Saw Gerrera operates, how Mon Mothma operates, how Andor operates, and how they all do things differently, yet they all want the same thing. Super cool story. And how it's handled. Sorry if I got a bit too deep with that political talk there. I wasn't trying to get political. It's more just me realizing the things that are synonymous between my own country and with the Empire. The only difference between the main difference is that it's not as intense in our real world. People can't just get, well, remind hauntology and the end of history. What's hauntology? But I didn't want to upset anybody, and I'm not trying to push a political agenda or message. Personally, I can only talk about my own experiences, and that reminded me of it. That's the worst thing. One of the worst things about living in America is how we were brought up to be told we had all these freedoms that we simply do not have. We either don't have the freedoms, or the freedoms that we do have are so irrelevant that it doesn't even matter. For example, the right to pursue happiness. The right to pursue happiness isn't... Like, yeah, no shit, you can seek out happiness. No one can take that from you. But when they can take your happiness away, they can take your freedoms away. How the fuck are you supposed to pursue happiness on death row? Like, they can just do that to you. That's how the Spanish... Oh boy, I ain't got that many pathologies in the USA system. Like, oh yeah, you have freedom of speech, but not freedom of platform. So if someone else owns the platform you're on, you can't say what you want. Okay, well, where do I go to speak? Well, the answer is really nowhere, because everyone owns a platform. Every platform is owned by somebody, be it a corporation, a government, a religion. Like, everyone owns a platform. Every place you go, every step you take in America, you're going to be on a platform. You can try and protest in public, but if you say something the government doesn't like, they can shut you down and put it in state curfews. Like, so the answer is, you have very few rights, if any. 4chan, there you go. There, even there. But yeah, I guess I did get political. I'm sorry. I'll shut up now. I'll get away from that topic. There is a space to be political, and this is not it. And honestly, I don't really have much more to say than that. It's that Star Wars is great. It's really cool, and Jango Fett's rad, and it sucks that he didn't get to be a dad for very long. And it's a bummer. And Boba is doing great for himself, and I'm happy for him, and his dad would be very proud. F's in the chat. F's in the chat for... yeah. Ah, cool. Enemies. Oh, porous is he, who lives in a pineapple under the sea. Ah, yeah! Alright, hold on. But yeah, Jango would be very proud of him. Okay, Book of Boba Fett Season 2. Here's what I want. Here's my request for Book of Boba Fett Season 2. I got one request. Give me one episode of Boba Fett during the events of the Bad Batch. Or better yet, wish list for Book of Boba Fett and for the Bad Batch. I want to see Boba Fett in his prime. I want to see young... I want to see, like, Boba Fett at the age Tamura Morrison was in this game. Or the age Jango was in this game, because Tamura Morrison's not a Star Wars character. I want to see him in his prime. I want to see the events of Star Wars 1313. Give me that. Even if you have to CG him, even if you have to age down his face, I don't care. I want to see it. Other requests. I want to see I want to see Rex during the Battle of Endor. We get to see a bit of him in Return of the Jedi, but he only exists for one frame, and that might not even be him. And it game straight until 1 a.m. Badass, man. I'm happy for you. Yeah, bitter hate. Like, I want to see him during his edgy phase. Like, after Asajj locked him in that box in Clone Wars. Speaking of which, Clone Wars. Boba Fett's got some good episodes in that. I want to see more Boba Fett episodes in Bad Batch. Testing, of course. Nice. Well, I'm happy to hear it went well for you, man. I had a PSU crap out on me a couple years back. TBB. Yeah, it's great. It's really good. Last season was heartbreaking, but I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. Also, the Bad Batch has introduced another character that I can cosplay as. There aren't very many of them because of the way I look, but I can cosplay as Tech from the Bad Batch because I look like that guy IRL. I look exactly like Tech, but slightly chubbier and with a beard. If I could lose some weight and do some Tech cosplay. Plo Koon's great. Plo Koon is great. His voice is wonderful. What's this? It's a grenade. It's a grenade which I rarely use because blasters just get the job done. Let's use some grenades. I haven't used grenades. Ooh. That's interesting. That's interesting, Witty. I'll have to look more into that. Yeah, the idea that things are constantly reverting and not moving forward. I believe that we've reached a state of stagnation when it comes to a lot of things. But I feel like certain things are advancing while other things are not allowed to advance anymore because of the systems we've put in place. What is that doing? What is that telling me? Jetpack? Okay. But yeah, the idea that breakfast is more complicated, there's only one part of this. I'll look into it. I don't know if they did him dirty. I thought that was just a really sad ending for that character. There's certain Star Wars character deaths I want to be retcons, but I think every Order 66 death that we see on screen should remain. I don't want Mace Windu to come back. I don't want Kit Fisto or any of them to come back. I think that any attempt to bring them back would cheapen the tragedy of Order 66 and of the Clone Wars. Personally, I also love how we keep going back to see Order 66 from different perspectives. The most traumatic event in all of Star Wars, and we gotta keep watching it over and over again. He fell out of a window. He fell out of a Mace Windu. And just for some reason at that very moment, a ping of excitement went through Boba Fett's chest. He didn't know what was happening. He was just sleeping at some hotel, probably, or in his ship. But he was happy for a moment. He just felt this little ping of joy, and he didn't know why. Little pang of joy. Maybe it was the Force talking to him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But the tragedy, absolutely. Yeah, the heartbreak. Like, oh, it's so sad. The clones didn't... And like, what you're gonna find out from the Clone Wars is it wasn't their fault. And that's one of my favorite retcons, personally, the idea of the inhibitor chip. You'll find more about that, but if you hear people saying, like, good soldiers follow orders, that's what they're referring to. Bitter baby melon. Poor Boba. Poor baby melon, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it if you don't already know, but, like, yeah, it's something. It's something else. It's horrific. They turned what was a group of soldiers being embittered towards their mistreatment, which we never really saw, into genuine dystopian horror. Which I honestly think, I really love the dystopian shit Star Wars has been doing lately. They started it in Clone Wars, and they've continued doing it, like, since, and it's been a really good touch. Will not be ready. Yeah, he fell out a window. Yo, Boba the Force here, you wanna hear some shit? Yeah, he got flung out of a window by an old man. It was sick. Aw, thank you. I have a great time doing these. Speaking of input, let's hope I can open this door. Hey, there we go. Yo, what's up? Hey, dude, I got you. Will of the Force. That guy was a dick. He had it coming. He abused his power as a Jedi. That's the other thing I kind of want to talk about is the reason why I'm so anti-sequels is Luke's role in that is nonsense. First off, there's the thing about him being forgiving, but specifically the thing that makes Luke unique as a Jedi is that he utilizes love, something that is forbidden of the Jedi. His love and his attachments make him stronger, and it's something that other Jedi have flirted with before, like what's his name? Sorry, Kanan Jarrus from Rebels. Anakin, of course, goes badly for him. Yeah, looking for booty.
I'm looking for someone. Bendix first.
I'm gonna quiet down for a second.
You come here to spring him out.
Something like that.
Hey, don't make no difference to me. Bendix first. He'd be on cell block level 1. I'm going down to the mines. Cell blocks are on the way. Come on.
I like this guy. He's chill.
They call me Smoothie.
This to yourself, old time?
Oh, don't worry. I got no love for this place, no siree. They'd work me to death in the mines if I could work. I can't on account of my age. I let them think my hearing's gone, but I hear everything.
Hear much about the Bandogora?
Bandogora? Are you crazy? Just talking about them out loud get you killed.
You believe that?
Couple of years back, inmate, smuggler from Baltazar.
I like Smoothie. I like Smoothie.
About how he been rescued from Bandogora by this beautiful Jedi girl. The Bandogora retreat, but take her and 2 other Jedi with him. Steal the smuggler's ship to escape. Well, his ship's still full of spice, you see, and he's got to get it back. So he hires a bounty hunter to track it down. Sometime later, this bounty hunter come back scared stiff. say he found a ship on some berries.
Aw, thanks for the pets, Witty. I'll get that set up here in a second.
Say he seen this same Jedi girl lop the heads off them 2 prisoners in some bizarre ritual. It's like she been turned into one of them.
Kumari Vosa.
Rosa, that's right.
This bounty hunter, did he mention the name of the system?
Nope. See, it bears nobody find it.
No, that's why I'm trying to be quiet.
Living among the dead. I thought this smuggler.
Hey, Nitrous, good to see you.
Their guards found
Thanks for the water.
well, a piece of in his cell 2 days later.
Same. I hate it.
Here we are. I gotta get a move on. Good luck, stranger.
What a bro. What a conversation, and what a fucking exposition dump. I love that. But like, yeah, so fucking Dark Jedi cult leader. Holy shit, that's really neat as a villain idea. So she fucking sprung 3 prisoners out of here just to decapitate them?
Heresy.
Heresy. Heresy grows from idleness. Like, fucking sick, man. What a cool game. What a cool game. But yeah, Luke. So what made Luke unique is that, one, he had no knowledge of any of the old Jedi lore. He basically believed in just being a decent human being, and he loved his family. He loves Leia, loves Han, loves Vader, and was willing to put aside power, put aside the wishes of the Jedi, of what remained of the Jedi Council, being Obi-Wan and Yoda, specifically their Force ghosts, and was willing to forgive him, which is something that Obi-Wan and Yoda were never willing to do. And because of that love, because of those attachments he formed, he was able to not only save the galaxy and stop the Empire, he redefined what it meant to be a Jedi. So when Luke created his Jedi Order, it was built off of this idea of family, of forgiveness, and of open-mindedness. He would allow people of any Force alignment to come and train, including Dark Jedi, Sith, and the witches of Dathomir. The remaining witches of Dathomir went to Luke for training. And the way he structured it was not like a temple. He would basically teach people and share what he learned about the Force with them. Like, his wife, Mara Jade, was a Sith assassin. Luke Toretto. I don't know who that is. But yeah, Luke Skywalker basically took his own personal Jedi philosophy and shared it with the galaxy, creating the new Jedi Order. And yeah, there were new Sith Lords that sprung up, but it never got as bad as Palpatine again because of how Luke had basically redefined the Jedi faith. Bar Jinx. That's fun. I like that. It's Jar Jar's evil brother. But yeah, and so when they made the sequels, they took that away from us. All of that, everything I just said, was taken. And that's why I can't ever accept them as canon. That's why I can't accept them, is because they stomped all over the true ending of Star Wars. And sure, we had people fall to the dark side after that, but they were able to be brought back by Luke and by his followers. By Jaina and Ben Solo, by Kyle Katarn, Dom Toretto, a Fast and Furious frame. I actually haven't watched those movies. I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie. I played the arcade game of Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, though. That you don't want to kill as soon as you see him. His, the general guy we see, the Gungan general we see that isn't Jar Jar in episode 1, he's got some really cool story. He's got some really cool episodes. And oh my god! In Clone Wars. I love how it fires as fast as you can hit the button. That's so satisfying. This level's really good, by the way. I'm having a great time. Pretty much interested in all the info you need about the franchise, to be honest. A lot of these guys, huh? I like their armor. It reminds me of the, like, bomb defusal armor that Call of Duty uses as the Juggernaut armor. In reality, that's for defusing bombs. But the way that's kind of what their armor reminds me of. I don't know what the armor's actually called. Some of you military nerds in the chat probably know. Jedi and Night Sisters work together and have a similar value. Right? Okay, don't tell me anything about Jedi Fallen Order. I'm playing that on my own. Me and the girlfriend are going through that together. I'm so excited to see where that game goes. It's so fucking cool. I have not actually played, I actually haven't played Jedi Survivor yet, but I'm gonna have to pick that up. But yeah, the Night Sisters, the Witches of Dathomir, actually go to Luke and become part of his new Jedi Order, and it's really nice. Fucking crazy bitch rides in on a Rancor, man. It's so cool. Ah, man. Legends lore is so impressive, and I think I like what they're doing with Mandalorian. I like how much of the Legends lore they're trying to include. I think we need to work towards retconning the sequels completely. I think that should be the goal, is to either remake them or retcon them completely. But yeah, Luke's original ending in Star Wars is really awesome. How he has kids and a wife and a family, and yeah. Some weirds, but overall nice game. Fair enough. You know what, that pretty much sums up my feelings on Jedi Fallen Order as well. I think it's really weird how they handle the Force. I think they're trying, parts of it are trying way too hard to be like Dark Souls, and and don't make a lot of sense, you know? But aside from that, I don't like the way that it handles the Force, personally. I think it's pretty non-canon, but personally, otherwise, it's really good. An EOD suit. Thank you. Yeah, I figured that when you said it. Hello. Hello, sir. Can you... Alright, well, I guess I gotta get in a different way. This reminds me of the prison level at the beginning of Splinter Cell, Double Agent. What does the EOD stand for? Explosive Operating... These all lead to cells, don't they? Yep, I'm gonna have to pick a different one. That's kind of how I feel about this game, too. Is like, there's some weird janky bits, but overall it's a nice game. It is amazing to me how many of these Star Wars games were as good as they are. Alright. Sorry, event is locking, you don't have a pick, right? That's what I was thinking. Explosive Ordnance Disposal. Nice! Okay. Makes sense. EOD. Kick-ass. Learn something new every day. You know how awesome that statement actually is? The fact that I'm actually learning something new every day. I would go to school every day and learn fucking nothing. Isn't that are those Gizka? Are those fucking Gizka? Oh no, Womp Rats. Alright. I was hoping for Gizka. Gizka are fun. They're like little frog things. Wow. Sounds like you didn't go to explosive school. I didn't. I'm a fraud. I'm a hack fraud. How can I stream without explosive school knowledge? Explosive school? Lesson of the day. Think fast. Explosive school, also known as an American school. Alright, I'm sorry, that's terrible. Alrighty, where am I going? Oh, I'm not a bozo. Hey, there's the guy. Oh shit. Oh shit, it's her!
You're a bounty hunter. Sabalto sent you. No. I'm staying right here. Shut up and follow.
Don't say that in chat. Yes! That's what that is. Think fast. Fennec? Yeah, it is Fennec.
Help! Guards! I'm being kidnapped.
He's being kidnapped. Help him. Help him, Jango Feet. I'm sorry for calling him Jango Feet. Bitch, are you for real? But yeah, my dream Star Wars project at the moment is a... But I love to eat thermite. Yummy, I'm so... Uvu 4's lower levels contain the most feared convicts. Special riot guards are deployed in force to quell any attempted uprising. No revolt has ever succeeded, and with a handful of notable exceptions, all of whom who were either killed or returned, no prisoner has ever escaped. But yeah, my current dream Star Wars project, I talked about it yesterday when we were playing Battlefront, is I want a remake of the sequels as a show using all the same actors.
I thought you were going to slip in and out of there.
Look at the T-posing! Look at the prisoners, they're T-posing!
Started a riot to cover her escape.
Her escape? Oh, you're joking. Beaten at your own game by a woman. Ah, that's priceless. What now? Be ashamed to kill her. Sounds like she's perfect for you.
I don't want to risk killing Bendix and wasting my trip. Besides, she might be useful.
Careful, Django. Trust no one. Isn't that your motto?
Look at the T-posing prisoners. Oh my gosh, that's funny. But, they'll add the trilogy divisions on April 1st. Yeah, they will. Don't mind me, just dodging the turret fire. They nailed the feel, by the way. This is exactly how you'd expect a Mandalorian jetpack to control. I gotta get in there, take care of that. That can't continue to be a problem. Let's enter here. Yes, they were very useful. Well, useful for him. Wait, Fennec? No. Sorry, that's not Fennec. That's not Fennec Shine. That's the shapeshifter lady from Attack of the Clones. I'm sorry, I got the names wrong. It's not Fennec. I wish it was Fennec. That'd be sick, but no, Fennec's like a child now, probably. Also, damn, look at that health. I need healing badly. Someone needs to drop a health pack. Zemweser, thank you. Oh, I'm not that familiar with characters from this era, so you can forgive me if I don't know them. I mostly know Jedi from the, oh shit, hey, book recommend, Master and Apprentice. Really good book. It's about Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, and it's a really good story. Hangs with my man, yeah, man. She's the assassin who hired the robot to hire the bugs to kill Padme. Also, my controller just died. Let's just pause real quick so I can switch out the batteries. Bum 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 bum. Qui-Gon, actual saint. Yeah, actual saint / master negotiator / really smart Jedi, who kinda was aware. He wasn't like, he didn't think the rules were garbage. He just knew that you sometimes had to break them. Actually, a lot of the Jedi were very aware of that. But we only saw ones that were not in the prequel trilogy, so yeah, kind of a bummer. The Jedi are funny because they kind of have the microcosm of the idea that Andor put forward, is that if you give people unfair rules, you will inevitably see people rising up against them, which is why the Sith exist. Didn't he become a Force ghost? Yes, but he shouldn't have. According to Clone Wars, he shouldn't have, but Obi-Wan was clearly made by people who weren't aware of Clone Wars, which is funny because Clone Wars has kind of become the main storyline of Star Wars. So it's weird that they didn't pay attention to it. You can tell what people know of when they make their Star Wars stories nowadays, to be honest. It's like, hey, did you read the most important part of the entire timeline? Or did you watch the most important part of the entire timeline? Because we can tell if you didn't, and it was very clear that whoever made Obi-Wan were not aware of Clone Wars. Which is funny, because most of Obi-Wan's story takes place in that. It's the single most important piece of Star Wars lore. Hoping Django to be in Book of Boba Fett does... No. No, it doesn't. And it also applies to a very select group of Force users. It's specifically, it's like the final step of being a Jedi. And yeah, there's no Sith. There are Sith ghosts, but they work differently, and they don't really have a choice in the matter. Sith ghosts, you don't want to be a Sith ghost. Being a Sith ghost is fucking hell. It is a horrible, 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 horrible existence. You're basically a miserable spirit, bound to a location, and you can't go anywhere else. Whereas a Force ghost is the last step that a Jedi has before becoming one with the Force. It's also temporary. That's the other thing. You don't stay a Force ghost forever. You'll eventually just become part of the Force and reach basically enlightenment. It's the final step of Jedi training. Blahaj. Saddening. Yeah, he's just dead. That sucks. Is what it is, but... So yeah, not every Jedi is going to get a Force Ghost, and Mace Windu was not able to finish the training. Which is the sad part. We find that at the end of Clone Wars, is that Yoda goes on a little quest, and he actually makes contact with the Living Force, and he is informed... You know what Qui-Gon is? Qui-Gon at most is a voice. That's what he's able to do. He's able to be a voice. He's not able to be a Force Ghost. Obi-Wan got that wrong. Which again shows that they did not actually watch Clone Wars. Mace Windu can stay dead forever and ever, no complaints. I agree. He was... Here's a bit of a hot take. I don't think Mace Windu is a very good person. I think he is... You know who he is? Mace Windu is one of those motherfuckers who goes to prison who is like a really bad scumbag, and then they come out and they're a born-again Christian. But they're like fucking insufferable to be around, because you can tell they're the exact same kind of person. They've just found a new channel for their shittiness. They've gone from being an asshole to a Christian asshole. Nothing against Christians, by the way. I want to point that out. It's just I know people that are like that in life, and it's a very specific kind of person. Because like Mace Windu was very conflicted before he became a Jedi, and then when he became one, he became like absolute and like draconian in the enforcement of the Jedi rules. Yes. Yeah, basically he was very indecisive when then he became a Jedi, and he's like, this is all there is to life. All there is to life is being a Jedi. Jedi always right, and it's like, oh god. Like I don't hate him. I like him. I like Mace Windu as a character. I just think he symbolizes everything wrong with the Jedi. Even Yoda at the end was like, oh shit, we fucked up. Even the fort, like... trying to get canceled again in the two bounty stream. Then you apologize about Handu did. Even Plo was a bit soft on Boba. Yeah, right? Everyone understands that he was a kid, but like, Mace Windu is an ice-cold motherfucker. Look, we're starting to work at the car insurance. Well, I mean, car insurance is evil, so I mean... it's not that big of a shift, to be honest. You're just going for a different kind of evil at that point. Hey, let's make everyone pay for this thing that that should be optional. But that's an Alex quote. Car insurance is evil. It's like the Joker starting to work at the IRS. Or Lex Luthor becoming president. You know what? Lex Luthor becoming president's a really good comparison, actually. But like... Yeah, what was I gonna say? Shit. But yeah, I like Mace Windu as a character. I think I just think he's like morally complex. Let me out! Let me out! There we are. I made it. He's gonna join the IRS. He's afraid of the IRS. Attends his funeral and hugs Lois Lane. Yeah. Here's the thing, this Lex does become President Alex. Oh no. Would you guys vote for me? I wouldn't vote for me. Because, never mind. There's a lot of moral complexity to Star Wars. It's just, I have a question for you guys. Is the Force evil? So, the reason why I want to, my argument for the Force being evil, or at least amoral, is the prophecy of the Chosen One. Now, the prophecy of the Chosen One has two sides. It has the light side and the dark side. The light side is that someone will be born, an extremely powerful Force user will be born, that will single-handedly bring balance to the Force. Now, bringing balance to the Force does not mean that there's an equal amount of light side and dark side Sith users. That's not what that means. That's something that the sequels got wrong and that a lot of people get wrong. Bringing balance to the Force means that there are no more people abusing the Force as the Sith does. Think of the Sith not as people who utilize the dark side of the Force, but as basically drug addicts or Sith or Force abusers, right? So that's what the Jedi believe. They will defeat the Sith and bring balance to the Force. That's what the prophecy is. The dark side of the Sith interpretation of the prophecy is that someone will come along known as the Sithari, who will become the most powerful Sith, who will embody the entire belief system of the Sith. Right? Thanks, Nitrous. And so what the prophecy basically states is that Anakin is the Chosen One. Anakin is the Chosen One who will bring balance to the Force, and the Sithari, the Sith side of the prophecy, is that Palpatine is the chosen Sith that will achieve victory for the Sith, right? Both come true. So let's talk about this for a second. I'm gonna have to put my controller down and talk about it. So, all right. Jedi side of the Force is the Jedi prophecy. Anakin Skywalker will defeat the Sith, which he ends up doing, and will bring balance to the Force. Problem is, the way he goes about doing that is by... They're waiting for Sithler. The way that the will of the Force embodied through the prophecy of the Chosen One is that Anakin Skywalker is artificially created by Darth Plagueis and by Darth Sidious, aka Palpatine, through manipulation of the midichlorians of Shmi Skywalker to create life, which would then create the child within Luke and would the child within Shmi Skywalker, which would then create Anakin. Anakin would then become corrupted by the terrible decision-making of the Jedi, who are following the teachings of the Force, by not bringing Shmi Skywalker out of slavery, and by forbidding Anakin to love, leading to him having to hide his relationship with Padme, putting immense pressure on him, and by having him return to find his mother violated by Sand People, which then leads to him slaughtering men, women, and children, leading him to the dark side over time. Eventually, the creation of the Sithari through Palpatine, the one Sith who embodies all the power of the Sith, would then lead to him becoming the master of Anakin Skywalker, and would create a situation where there would be no way for Anakin to rise up and kill Palpatine because of the immense power that Palpatine holds. So both prophecies are coming true alongside each other. The final embodiment of the Sith being Palpatine, and eventually the chosen one of the Jedi being Anakin, who throws Palpatine down a fucking hole and will then bring balance to the Force, dying himself, being the last Sith. And so, both prophecies come true. However, in doing so, and in bringing balance to the Force, trillions of people have to die, all for the will of the Force. The Force is amoral, and I agree. It's just the Force, chosen party, secure common goal, by extreme methods of execution to the point of extremists. Absolutely, Egg. I agree with not an Egg. I agree with you 100%. They're waiting for Sithler. So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, the Force, in its amoral wisdom, kills trillions of people through its will, the will of the Force. Kreia was right. Kreia was so fucking right. Kreia is a character in Knights of the Old Republic who believes that the Force, and specifically the Force's will having an influence on mankind, is detrimental, and she is so fucking right. Exactly. It's like a chaos god. The Force is fucking evil. And that's why at the end of the day, the person who saves the world is not the chosen one. Saves the galaxy is not the chosen one. It's not the Sithari. It's one dorky boy from Tatooine named Luke Skywalker, who willingly on his own decides that he's going to save the people he loves, regardless of what decisions they made, and that he's going to forgive them. It is the free will of a single boy. One dorky boy, this one weird trick, the Force hates it. One dorky boy saves the day. Exactly, and that's what I love about Luke Skywalker and why I can't stand the sequels, is that, like, I've always felt like when Maul asked Obi-Wan in Rebels if Luke was the chosen one, and Obi-Wan nodded his head, I believe that he genuinely believed that at that moment, but he was wrong. And the most important thing about that scene is not that Luke is the chosen one, it's that it brings Maul some fucking peace for once, you know? It brings Maul some fucking mental peace for the first time in his life. Free will, Pog, right? Yeah, the will to power, the will to self, and the way that... And, oh my god, Kreia. Fucking Kreia is the most important Star Wars character, and she dies long before she knows it. Well, my work here is done. Bye, right? Kreia is a character who basically believes that you shouldn't listen to the will of the Force, you shouldn't listen to the will of the Jedi or the Sith. You should be aware of these factions and these forces, but you should ultimately do what is best for you personally, and you should try to make good choices as a person. Make your own decisions for what you think is right, and learn from your mistakes, and adjust your ideology based off of reality. Rather than being like, oh man, the will of the Force, the will of the Jedi, the will of the Sith is what we gotta do no matter what, no matter how many people die. You need to... I think I'm gonna save this VOD, by the way. I think this is some interesting shit that I'm saying, and I think I need to upload it. But Kreia basically believes that you should pay attention to what happens in the long term and just try and understand the consequences of your actions and learn from them. And develop your own power and use that power to influence people to follow your own constantly evolving morality. It's this weird mishmash of the Jedi and the Sith belief system. Kind of, but you got to be aware of the Force and be aware of the will of God effectively in this universe, because God is real in this universe. And Kreia, Luke unknowingly follows her belief system while still being a good person. And of course, Kreia personally does not believe in charity. She does not believe in... she thinks charity's bad. She does not believe in rewarding the weak or protecting the weak. But that wasn't the point of her belief system. The point of her lessons and the lessons she was trying to teach people in Knights of the Old Republic is that you should have your morality be based off of logic and reason over a long period of time. You need to learn from your mistakes and use your own power to influence others to basically act towards the greater good. Consequentialism, perfect. That's actually a wonderful way of putting it, or causality. It's a really weird belief system, and people have made... If you guys really want to get into like the weirdness and the nitty-gritty of Star Wars lore, just look up Kreia on YouTube. There are so many videos about her, because she is basically a walking philosophy book. Consequentialism. If that's what that sounds like, then yes. Kreia is probably the most important Star Wars character, and that's why people get so like, people are like, play Knights of the Old Republic, holy shit, because it contains the most important Star Wars lore. Revan to a lesser extent. Revan is just using his own interpretation of her beliefs, because Kreia was Revan's Jedi Master. But ultimately, Revan carved their own path, and that's what made them so great. Similar to Luke, Revan carved their own path. No, we need to actually save our state here because I'm gonna die if I don't. Save state, and that's what will be our respawn point from now on. Kreia. I'll actually link you guys a video both in the chat and in the Discord if you guys are in there. If you haven't joined the Discord already, be sure to do so. I'm gonna use this as a chance to shill our Discord. Boop. There you go. Let me go ahead and grab you guys the video. Kreia. We're just gonna go ahead and look up Kreia. Here we go. The Philosophy of Kreia. A critical examination of Star Wars. This is one of the best videos on YouTube and one of the best Star Wars videos. I will link that shit right here. Watch this. Set it aside for later. It is very, very, very important. I'm posting it in gallery. If you guys have access to the Discord, I'll even pin this shit. I cannot stress how great this video is. Sorry, I know I'm being a dorky fanboy right now, and I feel like I'm in a space right now where I can express these feelings. So personally, let me share the video, make sure the stream's working properly before I do anything else. Boop, boop. Check DC later. Yes. But yeah, be sure to, yep. The link to the Discord's also down below. If you just scroll down a bit. But definitely check that out. But yeah, it basically explains why Luke, why Revan, why Kreia are so important, and why the Jedi are wrong about a lot of things. I don't agree with a lot of this guy's other videos, but this specific video is wonderful. Wonderful. Make sure that let's make sure that this is working. Also, I want to point out Kreia herself is not a good person. She is one of the most evil Star Wars characters, but it's what she preaches that's important. That was good shit. All right. That was just an emergency save, by the way. Let's do library, please. I'll check it DC later. Hell yeah. But yeah, basically the idea is that the Force itself is... Yo, Egg, thanks for the sub, dude. I really appreciate it. I'm just partying, man. I can't hear myself think. This is so loud. Thank you. I really appreciate the subs. I love Throg's theme. It's so good. Such a great song. Thank you so much for the sub, Egg. I really appreciate it. Shit, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's an interesting story. It's an interesting character. And it really... it's why I love Star Wars. At the end of the day, that ideological struggle, the existence of the Force, and these characters that I love, I genuinely think that Star Wars has some of the best villains in fiction. And it's why getting into the nitty-gritty of why I love it so much is talking about this kind of thing. The idea, the wars of philosophy, psychology, and faith that exist within 40K, or not 40K, in Star Wars, and 40K as well, but in Star Wars is just so fascinating to me. I love the contrast, the battle between the Jedi and the Sith and the kind of stories they're able to tell from it. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, this really cool, ideological struggle is in service of a really good story, which is great. Shit! Well, shit. That could have gone better. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Na, 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 na. But yeah, it's one of those things that's tough to explain to people, and ultimately it's just Star Wars is a place where you find good stories, and the overall meta narrative is one of the most fascinating meta narratives in fiction. I think the struggle between the light side and the dark side, good and evil, and also like the struggle between normal people and the will of the Force, which is I think the most important struggle, and how the gray side of the Force is this secret solution to all the problems in Star Wars that is just one of the most fascinating parts of it is fascinating. And of course, when I talk about that, I'm not talking about Bindu. Bindu is a character who exhibits one of the problems in one of the most villainous forces in Star Wars. Yeah, there's so much to unpack. It makes the struggle between good and evil fascinating. Absolutely. There's a character by the name of Bindu, and this character is often used as the example of the gray side of the Force, because he refuses to engage with the Force. Bindu is the one who stands in the middle. He's also one of the most powerful Force users in Star Wars. He is not Sith, he's not Jedi. He just refuses to engage with any conflict, and he just meditates, and he keeps to himself, and he's a giant fucking moose kaiju. But ultimately, he embodies one of the greatest forces of evil in Star Wars, apathy. Apathy is death. Ultimately, Force users who fall into apathy become forces of destruction that just eat life. And apathy as a thing is what enables evil in the galaxy. Like, for example, Jedi at many points engage with apathy. They refuse to take a side in a struggle that they need to take a side in, and end up dooming the galaxy as a result. The reason why the Mandalorians exist, or the Sith exist at all in Star Wars, is a fault of the Jedi's own apathy, because every single Sith in the beginning started with the best of intentions. You know what? Fuck it. Let's talk about this, because this is something that doesn't get enough coverage. The Sith code. So, there's the Jedi code and there's the Sith code. These are things that are referenced but almost never repeated verbatim. I will read to you the Jedi code, and then I'll read to you the Sith code. So we have, for the Jedi code, there is... Yep, it's the ultimate downfall. The Jedi code is, there is no emotion, there is peace, there is no ignorance, there is knowledge, there is no passion, there is serenity, there is no chaos, there is harmony, there is no death, there is the Force. So basically the idea is that you disassociate yourself from these feelings. So no emotion. If you rid yourself of emotion, you will find peace. If you rid yourself of ignorance, you will find knowledge. If you rid yourself of passion, you will find serenity. If you rid yourself of chaos, you will find harmony. And if you familiarize yourself with death, you will find the Force. If you basically rid yourself of the fear of death, you will find the Force. So here is the Sith version. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall set me free. And the great thing about the Sith code, and it's something that I find so fascinating about it, is of course there's the beginning part. Hey, peace is actually an impossibility. Let's embrace passion. If you embrace your passion, you will gain strength over yourself. If you gain strength, you can gain power over others, and through power over others, you will gain victory. Through victory, your chains are broken and the Force will set you free. This is a specific ideology meant to appeal to the oppressed. The Sith cannot exist as an ideology and as a power unless people are oppressed and unless people are allowed to be oppressed, you know? Like, if you do not have the Sith the dark side of the Force cannot exist when there is no oppression. And that's the most important thing about it. Apathy and allowing people to be oppressed is what creates the Sith. And it's one of the most fascinating things about life, because that's been shown in our own history. People refusing to stand up against evil when it shows is what allows evil to grow. A lot of people who turn to evil are created by being oppressed in the first place. Like, if you look at the history of a lot of dictators and a lot of just despicable people in history, they feel oppressed by a greater power, And through the apathy of others to actually listen to these people and understand them, they pursue power themselves and become the oppressor. This feels like Sunday church. Amen, brother. Right. Yeah, the codes are fascinating. I don't know if the Grey code is real, because the Grey probably shouldn't have a code, because they're the Grey. But whatever. Anakin's anger so well. Absolutely, because he is oppressed. They refuse to acknowledge his slavery. They refuse to free his mother from slavery. And in doing so, they created the worst Sith in history. And of course, you get characters like Palpatine, who is a sociopath. Palpatine was never a Jedi. That's the most important thing about him. He wasn't a fallen Jedi. He was just fucked in the head from birth. He was like Jeffrey Dahmer. He was like Patrick Bateman. He is a sociopath. And because he was a sociopath, he ultimately became the best Sith Lord because the will to power was born in him. He likes to manipulate others. He doesn't have feelings of empathy or goodness in him. Not a choice, it's a lifestyle, absolutely. The Sith Mamail grind set, he was born with it, you know? And like, ultimately, because the Jedi refused to actually do what was necessary and stop him and stop the Sith and actually be aware of the secret Sith within them, and also they refused to help Anakin, their apathy led to death. It led to the death of nearly the whole galaxy because the will of the Force is apathy. Anyway, let's get back to our fun bounty hunter game. This is some sick shit, and I fucking love. It's what made me fall back in love with Star Wars. Fucking the sequels broke my heart, and the Knights of the Old Republic, the expanded universe, and Clone Wars are what brought me back. Also, I'm out of time. I hope you guys really enjoyed the stream. I had so much fun this time. It was really great talking about all this crazy Star Wars philosophy shit. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and find ourselves another Star Wars streamer to raid. I will save the VOD. This will be the first VOD that I will upload on the channel, and I will be linking them in the Discord. So hey, if you haven't joined the Discord already, be sure to join. It's where I live. Geneforge 5? NBA 2K23. I don't know if I want to... Alright, well, we'll find something else then. You know what? Since I've been referencing Knights of the Old Republic this whole time, let's find ourselves a Knights of the Old Republic streamer. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. I love this track. Let's check in and see how this person is.
If I tried to lie, Bastila would be like, are you sure about that?
This is a great time to actually do this because it's early on in the game. We're gonna go ahead and raid Crooked Hat Cafe then.
We must discuss recent events in light of this new information.
We should consult the Jedi Archive.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I really appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and raid. Crooked Hat Cafe.
Return to your ship with Bastila, and we will summon you when we are done.
That's weird.
Padawan, you have
that was fast.
Discovering the star map.
All right, everybody get ready.
But there is more you must do in the battle against Malak and the Sith.
Yes.
No victory over the Sith.
Later, guys.
I've
Here it
consulted
comes.
our vast archives in an effort to
Hello
discover
there.
the nature of this Star Forge.